Hey, here's a term for you, fiscal responsibility. We hear that term a lot, but what does it really mean? If you ask most people, and especially if you ask conservatives, they'll tell you that fiscal responsibility means controlling government spending. You have to be fiscally responsible or fiscally conservative, they say. They even call themselves fiscal conservatives with great pride. Well, here's my definition of fiscal responsibility. It means government spending and taxation at a level that supports full employment, whatever that is, and whatever combination that is. I really don't care whether it's high spending or low spending or high taxes or low taxes, so long as we have full employment, because that defines an economy that is running at its full potential. Simply saying, hey, we're going to cut spending and then calling that fiscal responsibility is dumb. It's fiscal irresponsibility as far as I'm concerned. Think about it. What if a family or an individual just decided to arbitrarily cut spending across the board to be fiscally responsible? Would it be fiscally responsible to cut spending on food? How about cutting spending on clothing or housing or medicine or education? Would that be fiscally responsible? Should you tighten your belt when it comes to putting gasoline in your car, but you got to go to work? Or what about when it comes to heating your home in the wintertime? You see what I mean? The term fiscally responsible does not simply mean cutting spending. It means managing your income and your expenditures in a way that maximizes your well-being. And obviously, for a household, it's a little bit different than for a country that issues its own currency, but it still means that an individual has to spend enough to take care of his or her necessities and needs, things like food, shelter, clothing, health care, and perhaps even some discretionary consumption like, how about some vacation trips, leisure, nice clothes, etc., and still have something left over after those expenditures. And obviously for a country that issues its own money, like the United States, where the amount of spending is not constrained by revenue, it means spending and taxing just enough to ensure that everybody is working, that the capital of the nation, its factories and farms and stores and warehouses are producing goods and services at their highest level. That defines a nation that is living at its full potential, and it also defines a government that's doing a great job. Just saying, hey, we're going to cut spending, especially where there's investments we need to make and work to get done and millions of people out of work, that's not fiscally responsible. It's the height of irresponsibility. Yet that is exactly what conservatives and even a lot of Democrats are proposing. They're putting the economy, they're putting the country rather, on a path to fiscal ruin, not because we're overspending. That can only happen if everybody is already employed and we have no ability to produce anymore and where our capacity is totally maxed out. But it is fiscally irresponsible to allow the economy to operate way below its full potential and cause unemployment to stay high for very long periods of time. That's the height of fiscal irresponsibility. And by the way, it's even unconstitutional because it says right in the beginning of the Constitution that the government must provide for the common defense and promote the general welfare for ourselves and our posterity. Fiscal responsibility, at least the way they talk about it nowadays, is an abrogation of the promise we made to ourselves as a nation. You got that? Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you next time. This is Mike Norman saying, be fiscally responsible, and bye-bye.